All right, welcome back to LLP training. In today's session, we want to cover logging phone calls, doing to-dos, and then a quick recap of setting appointments. So here we have a client that we've already pre-approved, and based on how you want to follow up with your clients, there's some automated process stuff that happens, but I still feel the best way to communicate with your customers is face-to-face and picking up the phone and calling them. So in this case, let's say that I scheduled a phone call for me to follow up with the customer, and or let's say that I talked to the customer randomly. So basically what I do is I would come up here and I want to create a history item. And so I go to complete, unscheduled, incoming phone call, and I've got a reference line here. And so if I go to the right of my reference line, I've got a ton of pre-filled references, and we've kind of broken them down into different things. And you've got your HUD-1 calls, you've got your loan process calls to all the different parties involved, and you've got your PQ calls. So in this case, this customer is pre-approved. They maybe haven't found a property, and so what I might do is just go in here and put a PQ goal follow-up. So I've got the contact name up here. They called in. I'm the person who's getting the call. I'm going to put a reference here. I might even also put a code in here for a pre-qualification call. And I might put a note in here, just reviewed numbers on new home and going to put offer in today. So if I'm completing this, I might want to go okay and move on, but I may also want to schedule a follow-up call after this. So let's say I want to remind myself to follow up in a couple days. So I just schedule a follow-up call and go okay, and bam, it's going to schedule a call for me. So I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to go down to PQ client follow-up, follow-up on offer, and I may want to put an alarm on this. I'm going to set the follow-up to call on Thursday. What I like to do is I like to put all my calls before I start in the morning at 8 o'clock so I can move them around if I need to, or I can schedule a specific time on the calendar. It's really up to you on how you want to manage this. And so the alarm will do a pop-up, and it'll be in your Goldmine pop-up alarm like this, okay? And it'll pop up before it's available. I can even send an email to the customer requesting that time. But in this case, I just really want to surprise them with a follow-up call, so I'm not going to do that. And I'll go schedule. And so now if I go to look at my history, I've got the follow-up call that I got today, and it's call in. And then if I go to my pending folder, okay, I've got a pending call in 2 days on the 10th at 8 a.m. that I want to follow up on the offer that they made, okay? You'll also notice I've got some things in here that haven't been running, and these are some of the automated processes that are trying to work on this that are no good because I don't really have a valid email address in here. And so I'm going to go ahead and take some of these out. So the way your pending folder is going to look is just have this pending item in here to make the follow-up call in 2 days. Okay. Now, the other thing that you may want to do is, let's say that you wrote the client a personal note or sent them a thank you card or something else. Well, that would be considered completing a to-do. And so in this case, I'm just going to put in here a birthday card, personal note, thank you letter. So let's just say I did a thank you letter, thank you, and good luck on home contract, okay, and I go okay. So what it's going to do is now in my history I've got a thank you letter in there, okay, and in some of our office meetings and things like that, I've discussed kind of, as a loan officer, I think what's going to drive a lot of your business is the activity level of what you're doing. And so to follow up on this, as you're recording your phone calls, as you're recording your to-dos, as you're maybe completing appointments or things like that, we created a way that on a monthly basis you can track everything that you're doing. So, for example, we created a report up here in reports. So if I click on reports and I'm in Crystal Reports, Contact Reports, we did something called the activity log by user. So if I double click on this, I'm just going to pick out, for example, what I did last week. So if I take, let's just say October 31st through, come on, pull up. Sometimes it takes a minute to pull up the dates. Through the 4th of November. And I can either, one, choose my name from the list here or just enter my username here. And go OK. What it's going to do is it's pulling up all the appointments that I've completed. It's pulling up all the phone calls that I've done. And it's pulled up all the thank you cards that I did, okay? So just a quick way to look at my last week or to see the activity levels of what I'm doing. And, I've got a goal. Every week I want to have, 15 face-to-face meetings with people. I want to make 60 proactive phone calls. I want to do at least 10 thank you letters. Like last week, I only did 6 of them. So I fell short of my goal. So this is just a great way to look back on what you did and kind of see where you are on your activities. And again, it's a tool. Now, this tool is only as good as the information that you're putting into the system. But again, it's a great way to track it, and it doesn't make you have to keep this stuff manually on a pad of paper and make that a whole process in and of itself. And the other great thing is here, when you go into these contact records and you go into the history, you can see everything that you do. To bring up a very positive experience that happened for us last year is we were in a Keller Williams office doing as the in-house lender there, okay? We had a realtor that we were doing business that kept on complaining about us that we could never get any of her clients done. And so what do you think we did? We pulled up a report where we tracked all the leads that came in from that referral source. And you know what else we did in the meeting? We went down client by client, a call history, everything that we did, all the stuff that happened. The coolest thing that came out of that meeting is it wasn't adversarial, but we said, look, we want to help you. Here's all the things we do with your clients, we're calling them, we're sending them emails, we're following up with them. We got a history of this, and if you ever have a question as a resource to you, we can pull up every client that you referred to us over the last 2 or 3 years. And so the broker came away with a very positive experience. The realtor sent us even more referrals, although, it didn't work out in the long run with that realtor because none of the referrals ever really worked out. But, it wasn't a he said, she said, because we had the call history. We had, everything documented with what went on. And Randy, in your new capacity, I think this is going to be extremely valuable to you and also the loan officers that you're working with to see, hey, how come you're not following up with our realtors? What's going on? We need to take this person to lunch. You'll see everything that we're kind of doing in there, and you can help drive that whole process. Does that make sense?
Right.
So again, I think this is a really valuable tool. Now, I have had some loan officers push back a little bit on this, and, we haven't made this mandatory, but I can tell you this, the ones that are using it are doing better than the ones that are not, because now they're paying attention to their activities. They're more disciplined about what they're doing, and they're seeing some results. I know that I am. I can't seem to keep my calendar clear of appointments where we're doing the pre-qualifications. I'm scheduling the pre-approval appointments, and we just have a lot more activity in the office. So anyhow, that's just some of the benefits of the system with logging phone calls and doing to-dos and scheduling appointments and things like that. So Any questions on this? Okay.
Good stuff.
All right, so we'll go ahead and stop here, and appreciate the time. Thank you.